Grapevines and vineyards were central to daily life in Bible times. They were significant to the economy and culture because grapes were a source of food as well as income. They could be eaten fresh or dried as raisins, as well as pressed and made into wine or vinegar. If you've ever eaten Middle Eastern food, you may have come across dishes prepared with grape leaves. Additionally, when cistern water became stale, you could mix wine with it to make it drinkable. The grapevine is the most mentioned plant in the Bible, and it is used as a symbol of how Israel was doing spiritually. A fruitful vineyard was associated to Israel's obedience and blessings from God, whereas an unkempt, abandoned, and wild vineyard symbolized Israel's disobedience to God. And by the way, growing grapes is not as easy as it may seem. It requires a lot of effort and hard work. A lot of the soil in Israel was rocky and had to be cleared of stones before planting a grapevine. Usually, the vineyard would be surrounded by a wall or hedge that was built to protect it from thieves. If the vineyard was big enough, a watchtower was built to look out for intruders. Pruning is also a significant part of growing grapes. And according to the experts, pruning is not so much about yielding an abundant harvest, but rather top quality grapes. I know the symbol of grapes and vines may seem a little far removed from our culture today and may seem harder to relate to spiritually, but the Israelites understood it very well. In Psalms 80, which is our psalm for today, we pick up on difficult times for Israel spiritually. It sounds like they had wandered away from God yet again and were looking to get back to Him. They desperately wanted to see God's favor on them again. As the SDA Bible commentary states, in this beautiful and pathetic elegy, the psalmist likens Israel to a once carefully tended vine transplanted from Egypt and now exposed to ruin. The psalmist repeatedly begs God to restore them, to cause His face to shine on them, and to save them. The psalmist clearly describes the state of abandonment of a previously thriving vineyard, a symbol of their loyalty to Him and His ownership of the vineyard. The psalmist wants God back as the owner and manager of that once lovingly tended vineyard. Thankfully, we know the outcome of that plea, because when God's children ask for forgiveness and repent of their wrongdoing and ask God back into their lives, He always shows up. God does not turn away from anyone who wants Him back in their life. And what was formerly a disordered, unsuccessful life then becomes a beautiful vineyard once again. And that was our nugget for today. I'll see you tomorrow.